There exists a truth about you that no one has ever told you. A truth so disturbing that society has built walls of silence around it for centuries. In 1905, one man dared to look directly into the abyss of the human psyche and reveal what he found there. His name was Sigmund Freud, and what he discovered forever changed our understanding of the human mind. Freud wrote something that Victorian society considered obscene, degenerate, unacceptable. A text that the doctors of his era tried to censure. A book that revealed the darkest secret of human nature. 3 essays on the theory of sexuality. Today we're going to explore the first of these essays, Sexual Aberrations. But not as an academic text. We're going to unravel what it truly means. We're going to reveal why what Freud discovered about human sexuality remains as disturbing today as it was over a century ago. Because what Freud understood is this: we all carry within us the same drives as the so-called perverts. The only difference is that some act on them and others repress them. The question isn't whether you're normal or perverted. The question is, are you willing to face the truth about your own dark desires? Freud did something no one expected. To understand normal sexuality, he didn't study conventional heterosexual couples. No, he went directly to the margins of society. He studied the perverts, the degenerates, those whom society considered aberrations of nature. And he also studied children. Why? Because Freud understood something that Jung would later call the shadow. To understand light, you must first immerse yourself in darkness. To comprehend what we consider normal, we must investigate what we label as abnormal. It's as if Freud had read Nietzsche, who said, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you." Freud gazed into the abyss of human sexuality, and what he found there transformed everything. He introduced a revolutionary concept, the drive. In German, Trieb, not instinct, that word connecting us to animals and their fixed patterns of behavior. No, the drive is something darker, more mysterious, more uncontrollable. The drive is a constant force that impels us, like hunger, but infinitely more complex. Hunger has a clear object, food, but the sexual drive, that is a completely different beast. Because while hunger is satisfied by eating, the sexual drive can be directed toward infinite, unpredictable, disturbing objects. A man, a woman, a child, an animal, a shoe, a foot, a lock of hair, underwear. Freud discovered something terrifying. There is nothing natural about our desire. We are not born programmed to desire in a certain way. Human sexuality is wild, chaotic, polymorphous, and all of us, absolutely all of us, carry that seed of chaos within. Freud began his analysis with the inverts, homosexuals. The society of his time believed they had it all figured out. They thought homosexual men were simply women trapped in male bodies, that lesbians were men in female bodies. Simple, orderly, false. Freud shattered this illusion. He observed that many homosexual men were deeply masculine, virile, dominant. They showed no feminine traits, and yet they desired other men. But here's the dark twist: they didn't desire masculinity in their partners. They sought feminine traits in masculine bodies. Freud studied ancient Greece. Powerful men fell in love with ephebes, adolescents who had not yet grown beards. Masculine bodies with feminine characteristics. And the moment the ephebe became a mature man, all sexual interest vanished. What does this tell us? That homosexuality is not a simple category. It's a labyrinth of infinite variations. Freud identified absolute homosexuals who only desired their same sex, occasional homosexuals who under certain circumstances turned toward people of their same sex, and bisexuals who navigated between both worlds. Some were born with predisposition. Others had suffered seduction traumas in childhood. Some identified with the feminine. Others remained deeply masculine. There was no pattern, no law, only infinite variation. And then Freud made the most dangerous declaration of all. In the unconscious, we are all homosexual. At least a little bit. All men are capable of choosing an object of their same sex. All have already consummated it in the unconscious, even if they deny it in consciousness. And he added something even more disturbing. Even exclusive heterosexual desire is not obvious. It's not natural. It's an enigma that requires explanation. Why does a man desire a woman? The answer is not biological. It's psychological, mysterious, dark. No one is purely heterosexual nor purely homosexual. We all inhabit a spectrum of latent bisexuality. This is the truth that society doesn't want to face. But Freud didn't stop at the object of desire. He also investigated the aim, the sexual goal. Society said, normal sex is vaginal penetration for reproductive purposes. Everything else is perversion. Freud laughed at this. He observed that even in normal sex, people kiss, touch, look, caress, bite, dominate, submit. He took the example of the kiss. Two people pressing their labial mucous membranes together, introducing their tongues into each other's mouths. This cavern of saliva and bacteria. If sex is about reproduction, what does a kiss have to do with that? Nothing. It's pure pleasure. It's perversion. And yet, no one considers it pathological. Even the most civilized peoples value the kiss as an elevated sexual expression. Freud wrote with devastating irony. He who kisses passionately the lips of a beautiful girl would perhaps use her toothbrush with disgust, although he has no basis to suppose that his own oral cavity is cleaner than hers. Disgust is conventional, arbitrary, a product of culture, not nature. And then there's overvaluation. When we desire someone, everything about that person seems perfect to us. Their nose, their laugh, their stupid opinions become profound. Their defects transform into charming qualities. Freud called this logical blindness. We stop thinking. We become slaves to our desire. And that connects us to the true perversions: sadism, masochism, exhibitionism, voyeurism, fetishism. The sadist finds pleasure in causing pain. The masochist finds pleasure in receiving it. But Freud discovered something disturbing. No one is purely one or the other. The sadist always has a masochistic component. The masochist always has a sadistic component. Active and passive. Dominating and being dominated. These polarities coexist in every person. The fetishist who adores his beloved's feet is doing something we all do. We all overvalue something about the loved object. The fetishist simply takes this to the extreme. Freud cited Goethe's Faust. Faust, desperate for Margaret, asks Mephistopheles, "Get me a kerchief from her breast, a garter of my love's delight." We all keep something from the loved one. A photo, a garment, a message. Are we all fetishists then? Freud's answer is clear: yes. To a certain extent, we all are. And now we arrive at the dark core of the entire essay. The conclusion that Freud presents and that remains scandalous today. There is no fundamental difference between perverts and normals. Neurotics, that is, normal people, have exactly the same drives as perverts. The only difference is that perverts act on them and neurotics repress them. Freud expressed it thus: neurosis is the negative of perversion. Same drives, different destiny. Perverts live their sexuality openly. Neurotics convert it into symptoms, into anxieties, into obsessions, into phobias. Repression doesn't eliminate desire. It only transforms it, hides it, disguises it. And all of us, absolutely all of us, are neurotic to some degree. Freud demonstrated that human sexuality is not unitary from birth. It's polymorphous, fragmented into multiple partial drives, each directed toward different erogenous zones. The mouth, the anus, the genitals. But also any centimeter of skin can become an erogenous zone under the right circumstances. Schopenhauer was right when he said we are slaves to our will. But Freud went further. Our will itself is fragmented, divided, at war with itself. And culture acts as repressor. Shame, disgust, morality are dams that contain these forces. But dams always have cracks. In perverts, the dams are weak. The drives flow freely. In neurotics, the dams are strong, too strong. And the dammed water ends up finding an outlet in pathological symptoms. Freud published this in 1905. In a Victorian society, puritanical, repressed to the unbearable. The resistance was brutal. They accused him of being obscene, corrupt, dangerous. But Freud didn't retreat. He continued expanding these ideas for decades. The first edition occupied 80 pages. The last, 120. Each year he added new observations, new cases, new disturbing truths. So, what does Freud really teach us? That human sexuality is an abyss. A wild territory where there are no reliable maps. Where each person must navigate their own dark drives. That the division between normal and perverse is an illusion, a social construction, a desperate attempt to impose order on the inherent chaos of human desire, that we all carry within us the same forces we consider aberrant in others. The difference is not of nature, but of degree, of circumstance, of repression. Jung would say we all have a shadow. Freud shows us that this shadow is sexual, perverse, polymorphous, untamable. Nietzsche proclaimed the death of God. Freud proclaimed the death of natural sexuality. And Machiavelli taught us to see the world as it really is, not as we wish it to be. Freud did the same with sex. He showed you the dark mirror of your own desire. The question is not whether you have perverse drives. The question is, do you have the courage to recognize them? Because only by facing your shadow, only by accepting the chaos of your own drives, can you begin to understand them. And only by understanding them can you be truly free. This is Freud's dark lesson. A lesson that society continues to resist more than a century later. But the truth doesn't disappear because you ignore it. It only sinks deeper, into the unconscious, into the shadow, waiting for the moment to emerge. Can't wait to see you in the next video.